Hey, what's up, friends? Welcome back to a new episode of Kevirsyle Network. I am your host, Kevin Davis, and I am an author, entrepreneur, content creator, go-giver, a person that I'm getting more sleep now because I keep getting yelled at. But welcome back to a new episode, and today's guest is my good friend Dave. I don't know what I don't want to butcher his last name, so I'm gonna say DS. Welcome,
Schweitzer. Yeah.
Schweitzer, Dave Schweitzer. Welcome to the show, man. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really honored and happy to be here. So thank you so much.
Man, thank you for coming on and thank you for reaching out to be on because I made that post on Facebook. I needed a new guest for this episode, so thank you for reaching out. Tell us a bit about yourself and what you do, man.
My name's Dave. The main thing I would say about me, about a year and a half ago, I released a book called March of the Mystics, which I realize now I should have probably had a better way to grab than putting it all the way back here. So it's a fun fantasy adventure book. Starts with a treasure hunt, ends in war after a group of magical mystics rains from the sky. Galagota's life will never be the same. It's good for kids and adults. There's magic, humor, monsters. And the past
monsters.
2 months. Oh, yeah, we got some. Well, this one actually has more like a dinosaur and then kind of like an army. But the comic book that we've made, which is a prequel, has these really cool lagoon creatures. So
okay, so this is the novel and this is the comic, right?
Yeah, so March of the Mystics is novel, and then Treasure of the Mystic Hearts is the comic. And right now in our Shopify spot, you can get this $5 16-page preview of it. But you could also check out our Kickstarter where we're putting out a 110-page graphic novel. It's fully funded. We have late pledges available. So if you're interested in that, we should be sending it out to print next week. I don't know for sure how long that turnaround time will be. It was pretty quick for this, to be honest with you. But with the holidays, a bigger product, I don't know. But I'd like to say you'll either get it by the holidays or just after. The comic is done. We have one page we had to add to make the double page spreads all fit correctly. So we're doing that right now. But yeah, so that's the main thing about me is this world of fantasy. But I also do some acting, and I made a movie this summer that I wrote and directed. So just kind of
wrote and directed, man. Can you tell us a little bit about the movie that you wrote and directed? What's that? How was that experience?
That was fun. That's what I went to college for. If I could just snap my fingers and get what I want, March of the Mystics would have just been a movie. But it would have been like $300 million on a non-existent IP. No one would have, So the movie is completely different. The movie is a breakup story that takes place in New York City. There's a couple that's at the end of a long-term relationship, and they're both kind of waiting for the other person to pull the trigger and end it. And one of them has a bit of an existential crisis during it. The other one starts having an affair. It's funny. It's sentimental at points. So I just finished the rough cut of that this week, minus the 1 day of shooting for 2 scenes that we still need to get. So it was this week. I really kind of got to see it from more of a bird's eye view for the first time.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a busy year, a little too busy actually.
I feel that. I've been busy myself, man.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Pops? Hey, what's up, John? But you do acting, you do writing, directing, comic creating. What inspired you to even get into this medium? Did you grow up knowing you want to be a writer, especially get into comics, or was this a different path you would want to go on before you got into this? What's your story behind this?
I think it's all pretty much been that path. The thing that I always say really started this was I was 6 when the movie Jurassic Park came out, and my parents took me to it. And it just was the movie that made me fall in love with movies. It's probably the reason why there's a dinosaur on the cover and in the book of, March of the Mystics.
Makes sense. I was going to ask that, but I don't want to assume.
It's a very Steven Spielberg theme because Gala's a bit Indiana Jones, and then you've got a T-Rex there. So
yeah,
heavily
Oh yeah.
inspired by, at least for that type of stuff, that childhood whimsy by Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, that type of
Mhm.
Lucasfilms as your logo, I think, homages.
Yeah, I was
Um,
yes, guilty as charged. I am a huge fan of George Lucas, and I became a Star Wars fan a few years ago. I haven't seen the full franchise yet.
oh, interesting.
I'm just like I've seen a sequel trilogy. I watched bits of the original trilogy, and I saw like Solo, Rogue One, Mandalorian. I have to get back to the Ahsoka show, and then I have to watch some of the animations.
Wow,
So
that's you said
I'm
you've
getting
seen bits of the original trilogy, but not like the whole original trilogy.
yeah, because I saw the first one. I didn't see the second or third one yet.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
yeah.
Not to get off topic, but I just think the amazing thing with Star Wars is everybody has such a different viewing experience.
Mhm.
Like my mom, who went to the theaters to see the original ones when they came out, yet you've like, oh, I saw one of them, but I've seen the sequel trilogy. And like, it's just fascinating
Well,
to me.
well, technically, this isn't off topic because this is a full topic. This is what this is about. It's about entertainment.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I actually didn't learn about Star Wars until Force Awakens came out. Like,
Interesting.
it came out with
15.
2015. I was 16 years old,
Okay.
and I didn't know of Star Wars back yet
There
until I
was a
heard about
10-year
Force Awakens.
lull. Yeah.
Yeah, then I heard about how it was the gap between them. I was like, there's more of this thing. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
That's so
And
interesting.
then I learned about Star Wars itself, like to learn the lore of it and we learn the backstory of why George Lucas started Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got really intrigued. So I watched Force Awakens and Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. And then I got curious to learn who the hell is Luke Skywalker and why he's so important in this saga. Like, why is this called the Skywalker saga? So yeah, I went back and I started the original the first movie. I haven't watched the second or third one, but then I saw Rogue One since I heard that's a prequel to the original. I think
Yeah, it would be
it
like
was.
3.5 or
Yeah.
3.5. It's like you can
And,
go straight from Rogue One to the original one, and
okay.
it's seamless. It's like a novel almost in that way. It's very
Ah,
fascinating now to watch it like that.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I still that's a prequel trilogy too. I'm like, good lord, how many prequel systems in this freaking lore? Like Jesus Christ.
That's one thing I think's hurt the series is jumping around in their timelines so much is that people sometimes
Yeah.
don't know where something takes place and it gets
Yeah.
confusing. So our
So
series will never do that. We'll always just tell you the next story.
yeah, so man, I just been like jumping in between whatever Star Wars that pops up on my Disney Plus. I just choose to watch it and just I don't care what the timeline is. I'm just gonna watch whatever pops up.
It's cool.
And then I know the Obi-Wan Kenobi show is on there. I haven't watched it yet
I like
because
that one.
I'm still trying to catch up on Mandalorian.
Yeah, I like
And
I like both Star Wars, so I'm easy. I'm
yeah,
relatively easy to please. I can be opinionated, but I'll still find something to like.
yeah, and I started watching Endor since I know him from World One.
Yeah, so good.
Fantastic show. It's really freaking good.
Starts a little slow, but boy, when it gets cooking,
Yes, it does
it's
start slow,
amazing.
but I actually understand why it's slow because the storytelling wise,
Yeah.
it has to tell you the I guess subplots or whatever you call it to lead up to the big main plot of it.
Yep.
But yes, Kevirsyle logo is inspired by Lucasfilm because I love how he had his logo designed, and I got really inspired. That's how I started creating. Is because I watch a lot of movies and TV shows.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Same. Yeah.
and I watch, and I'm really heavy on like I watch a lot of fantasy and a lot of horror. So that's literally my strong suit in writing is fantasy and horror. And I fell in love. I really fell in love with horror when I started watching what's that shit? One was Scream, but and Halloween, and The Thing,
Yeah.
and even the Conjuring series and Insidious series and Sinister. And then I got into fantasy because I'm a Disney kid. I grew up as a Disney kid. um, Nickelodeon kid as well. Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, and even like shoot, the Tooth Fairy movie with The Rock randomly.
Oh,
So I was like, I really just it grew my imagination, and I really just wanted to explore my imagination, see what I can create myself, and see how I can be original and not try to copy somebody else, but I'll be inspired by somebody.
Yeah.
And so like there's like a lot of different writers that inspired me, like James Gunn. I love Zack Snyder on a visual level, or snack because Zack has a really good visual.
His
Uh,
visuals are phenomenal. Like,
yeah,
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 like sometimes I like the story more than other times, but the
true,
visuals are
same,
always
same.
top notch. Like,
Oh yeah,
yeah, his like I think of all the superhero movies, his looks like some of the best.
oh yeah. And I think I really became a Zack Snyder fan when I his Dawn of the Dead movie.
I need to see that one. It's the only one I haven't seen, and I
Yeah,
really got to see
I,
it.
thi- I think that was one of his stronger movies,
That's what I've heard. And it's
storytelling
written by
wise,
James
and
Gunn, I think.
yeah, I think I believe so. I believe so. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's one of his stronger movies, visually and storytelling wise. Um, I hated Sucker Punch. I'm not gonna lie, I really hated
Oh, I
Sucker
didn't see
Punch.
that one. I forgot about it. Everybody hated it, so I just never
Yeah,
saw it.
it
Yeah.
was. Yeah, I don't even remember the movie that much, but I know I didn't really like it as I wanted to like it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and I love James Gunn from since he wrote Scooby Doo, the live action Scooby Doo, since he did the Guardians trilogy.
Those are
Um,
great. Peacemaker's been a great
Peacemaker,
show.
it's been a great freaking show, and I actually really liked his Superman. I was
It was great.
actually it was very interesting.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting to see the reactions to his Superman. How some people saying this was more accurate, and others say Man of Steel was more accurate. So for me, I'm an outsider because I never read the Superman comics, so I
Mm.
can't really get into the debate of like which one's more accurate because I never read the comics.
Yeah.
I'm the outsider because I didn't grow up reading comics at all. I didn't even know about comics until 2020
Okay.
when COVID hit. And that's when I found out that Marvel and DC were comics before they were animations and TV shows and
Yeah.
movies. And so I downloaded like and bought like their digital products. I had to write. I had to read some Spider Man. That's one of my favorite heroes. Spider Man, Thor, Black Panther, and Captain America, Hulk, even some Iron Man. Um, and I dug. I went to since I love horror. I went to find some Morbius to see what that's about. Um, the movie was it was decent. I think.
He
I
looks
think they
like
should.
Morbius. At least there's that. He looks a lot like
Yeah,
Morbius.
but I think they should have got a better actor.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, but that's that. I had to go get some Venom.
Yeah.
I'm a
Venom's good.
I'm a
The
huge
movies
fan
are
of
a mixed
Venom.
bag, but
Oh yeah,
Venom can be pretty good. Yeah.
oh yeah. But yeah, and that's how I started getting to writing is being inspired by so many people. And one, I want to figure out who I am, and writing has become my therapy, and it helped me with get my thoughts out, and because my mind is always moving 1,000 miles per hour. Like I think about a lot of things every single day, and just writing stuff out just really helps. And I read my mom's murder mystery book that she hasn't published just yet. She's revamping it, and that really inspired me into getting into writing.
That's
And I
awesome.
want and I want to challenge myself. And like I say, I know I say I can do this. I want to try this.
Yeah.
And I got into comics when I found about independent comics.
Mm.
When I found about Black Sands Entertainment, Boom Studios, IDW, Ace Blade, um, and so many other independent comics that like I'm a huge fan of Hellboy that I even know that was a comic either.
Oh yeah, I
And
love Hellboy.
Mike Manola. I finally got his name right, Mike Manola. And that's why I'm also a huge Monster fan. So
Yeah.
your book looks freaking fantastic. I can't wait to read it. I have to get it myself. Um, Now, getting to my question as I'm blabbering. Well, do you have like writers like from any medium that inspired you, like to inspire your style? And when you start writing your type of stories, like from movies, TV shows, comics, or anybody in any medium?
Yeah, but I think it can rotate depending on the type of genre, because I think if it's like if I'm going to be writing fantasy, whether it's the book or the comic book, I'm
Mhm,
probably more likely to pick up a Jack Kirby or a Brian Michael Bendis comic book just to kind of get into that mindset.
mhm,
Whereas for the movie, it was maybe watching something a little bit more like maybe like a Noah Baumbach movie, like Francis Ha or something, compared, where it's very down to earth, and so I think it varies. Um, and it's the thing that I struggle with also, as far as like writing and being inspired by someone, is I think it's something everybody who writes does, is trying to find my own voice.
Yeah.
Because I can definitely reread something of mine and be like, oh, I was just aping Larry David. Like, this is just trying so hard to be an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm, but a B-level one. So I think it could be hard. Yeah, but I definitely, depending on what I'm writing, as far as like what I'm watching on TV or something, I'll kind of go in that direction a little bit to try to pull something from it, I guess.
Hmm. Uh, I know you said Jurassic Park was one of your inspirations. What other type of movies or like TV shows that you really love that inspired your imagination and your creativity?
Probably like if I was doing like the letterboxed, top 5 or 6 movies, whatever, what I would, I think I kind of gravitate towards is Annie Hall, The Royal Tenenbaums, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2 is a huge movie for me.
Heck yeah.
There was this movie just a few years back, I think from Denmark, called Worst Person in the World. Beautiful movie. I can't stand it. It's so good. It's so good.
Can't stand it in a good way.
Yeah, in a good way. Exactly. There Will Be Blood. I like a lot of stuff from the Criterion Channel, if you're familiar with that. So yeah, those
Interesting.
are,
I've never heard somebody say it before, so that's
yeah.
interesting.
Oh yeah, I love the stuff for the Criterion's really great. They just got a Werner Herzog collection of all of him, climbing over mountains to make movies and stuff. As far as TV, like Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm are so big for me. I love Saturday Night Live, but I don't really do anything in that, sketch comedy vein. I think Sopranos is a brilliant show. Very cliche answer.
Oh yeah,
It is just so good.
yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, I think with TV, I usually gravitate a little bit more towards something that's silly. Movies,
Interesting,
I don't
really.
mind if it's serious. I might even prefer a little more if a serious movie. But I find with TV, my girlfriend and I just put Bob's Burgers on, and it's on for like 5 hours a night. God knows how many episodes, like probably a whole season. We watch it each night, but we'll just be on our
But
phone or cooking or doing something else. But it's just nice to have it on, I guess.
yeah, but the funny thing is, I've never seen Bob's Burger. I've
It,
actually never watched it.
it's a great show, and they've done like 15 seasons now or something
Jesus
ridiculous.
Christ.
And I remember somebody told me about the first time, and I was like, "What? That sounds weird." And she was like, "No, it could be like the next Simpsons." And I think she was right in some way.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. I want to jump into your series right quick since you still got the Kickstarter up right quick. Here we are. Treasures of the Mystic Hearts. Can you tell us a little bit more about your this it's a comic graphic novel. There we go. Can you tell
Yeah,
us a
graphic
bit more
novel.
about your graphic novel?
So pretty much, just to give a little bit of the genesis of it, is that Renan Shoddy is the artist on the comic book. He's also the artist for the cover of the book, March of the Mystics. So we collaborated first for the book because I needed a cover artist and I wanted some sketches in there. And he was free, and we connected, and he was willing to do that. And I feel so grateful. And then when we finished that, I said something to him like, "So what are you working on next?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm not really sure." And I said, "Well, how would you feel about doing a comic book with one of these characters?" And in Treasure of the Mystic, wait, no, I'm sorry. In March of the Mystics,
Oh yeah.
which was the first one out, Gal
Okay.
Gadot is like an adventure-seeking treasure hunt guy. And the story starts, he's going to go steal a diamond because he wants to steal this diamond to impress this woman, Isra, who's his co-star in the comic book. And then when the mystics fall out of the sky, his plans get derailed, and it becomes this like story of like, oh, is he going to get to her in time to tell her how he feels about her and all?
Mm.
So I'm not trying to spoil anything on the book. Whether or not she's in it, if she's even in it at all, is very, very minimal, but she's mostly heard
Ah,
about throughout it. And I
gotcha.
thought with the comic, it would be great because now you could see them on one of their first on their actual first adventure together. And then that way, if you read that and you read the book, you'll be like, oh, yeah, I've seen one of those adventures. I know this really important dynamic between them, and I have a new adventure with Gala and new backstory with him. And then the book kind of continues. And then hopefully next year, I'll release the second book, which kind of wraps up a little bit of a trilogy for them. Between the comic
Hmm.
book and then the two books, you could kind of look at it as a trilogy. Um, Not that the series is done at that point, just at least one story of Gala and Isra.
Oh, the story arc is done of this one.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, because then what we'll do is move to a non-Gala Goda story for the next book and comic, and continue the stories going that way. But the Gala Isra arc will kind of come to something of a conclusion. So we
Mm,
worked on the comic probably for about two years or so,
mm,
and we pitched it places, but I also pitched it right when Diamond distribution was kind of going down. So I think I
mm.
pitched it at a really terrible time because I got to assume everybody was like real risk averse and like we don't
Right,
know about this. But it was frustrating because
right.
we had it all done. 110 pages like done, like drawn, colored, lettered, like
Mm, this is beautiful. Just
yeah.
the graphic itself, man.
And like I got frustrated nobody picked it up because I was like, the art is so good. It should have just been picked up for the art alone. The art is that good. Like, and if you hated the writing, like I could rewrite it. That's not a problem. Like, we're not going to redraw it. That's way more work. I could rewrite it in an afternoon if I had to. Um,
Right.
we could just get
Wow.
rid of words, and the art is that strong. So yeah, we have kind of a little bit of a discussion of like, well, what are we going to do? And some people suggested doing, because it was supposed to be 5 issues, someone
Okay.
you could do 5 Kickstarters, and I was like, that's a lot of work. And they're like, you'll probably
Like
be able to build more and more and more and more. And I was like, I know, but that's going to take 6 months, if not 10
a
months.
year.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
like be that active on it, and every month having to be like, I need to raise another $2,000 or a
Yeah.
$1,000. I know my goal wouldn't have to be as much. So I just thought, for the sake of it being a little bit easier and everything, we'll just make it a graphic novel. We'll just package it all together, and then, lesson learned going forward. Don't do all 5 and then start the fundraising. Maybe start the fundraising a little sooner. I was just in a spot where I was able to afford to do that. So, and then I don't know if I mentioned them, but Angel RD does all the coloring on the series. And what I really love is it's very colorful. I find
Hmm.
a lot of fantasy gets a little drab, a lot of browns and
Yeah.
greens. And I really want to make sure this was very colorful. Just his yellow jacket, I think, is a bit different, and the shade that he picked for it, even in those night scenes at that boat, like it still has enough of a pop to it.
Oh
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then this story is very Indiana Jones like, where I would say March of the Mystics is a little bit bigger than just an Indiana Jones story. So this one,
Hmm.
they meet and they're gonna go steal this legendary weapon, the Crackle Daggers,
The
magical weapon.
crackle daggers. Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
they're weapon powerful enough to cleave the land in two. But there's also this
Jesus.
like fascist cult that's after it for their own evil machinations. And then, as you can see, it's an area surrounded by these like creature from the Black Lagoon type creatures. So there's danger around every turn, and they'll have to solve puzzles and fight their way out of it and all.
Oh yeah, and this is on late pledges. What's available on the late pledge since you still have it open?
You could pretty much still get anything on the late pledge. You like the if you just wanted the digital copy, I think it's now $11. So it's pretty cheap. The physical copy's 30 something. I don't remember if it's like 37 or 39 maybe.
What's the
Um,
trading card?
but yeah, you can get some
There it
trading
is.
cards
30.
at
Yep, 39.
39. So yeah, but we have pretty much on each level, we figured out all the junk to add in, like trading cards and bookmarks, poster. There was a variant cover level, but I don't know I think I may have closed that one off just to make it a little bit more enticing. If you wanted to get a copy of like the book with it, there's tiers for that. Our highest tier is you can get a head sketch from Renan, and it would be some
Wow.
of the first sketches because
Oh, the original. Wow.
yeah, because he does all the pages digitally,
Hmm.
no AI or anything like that, but on a tablet he draws. So he drew a
Yep,
couple
you
of
took off
head
the variant
sketches.
cover.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Um, so so I thought the head sketches would be a pretty decent one, because then and you get everything along with it. You get the comic, you get the book, you get all of that. So yeah, I think we've got a good spread. A lot of the stuff like the trading cards and like the poster, we're making them Kickstarter exclusive. So if somebody was suddenly a huge fan of this series and wanted it, it's like that's how you got to get it, through the Kickstarter. But yeah, we also people will get I need to talk to the people about sending these out. They do get 2 free digital comics as well. One is another issue that Renan worked on for another series he does occasionally, called Water Wars, like 2049. I don't know if there's a number at the end. I don't know if I got the number right, but Water Wars is definitely
Gotcha.
how it
Okay.
starts. So you'll get like an issue of that, and I think that issue is actually colored by Angel as well. And that's a series written by Timothy Fling, who's a very nice and talented gentleman. And then the other comic you get is an issue, I believe, of Mighty Mascots, which
Mhm.
is the comic book written and drawn by our letterer, Keith Gleason. And he's a friend of mine who we work together in a local comic store. So, those are just freebie add ons that you get. And
Dude, this is so freaking cool.
yeah, they're the villains of the story. And yeah, they're just, the art just amazes me. Like every
I feel
panel.
I feel like you'll be fun playing a villain more than a hero.
What's that?
I feel like I have more fun playing a villain more than a hero.
Oh yeah, I think as far as acting, yeah,
Like,
villain's so fun
yeah.
to the top
Oh
and
my
everything.
gosh.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a successful Kickstarter. We were only looking to raise like $2,000 just for pretty much printing, shipping costs, stuff like that, and we were able to reach that within 48 hours. Uh,
Wow. Yeah,
and then
2000, you got over $3,000.
so obviously we'd like to keep it going, get a little
Oh
little
yeah.
higher,
Oh yeah. Oh
but
yeah.
it at least took off, because those first 48 hours or so were like so stressful, because you're like, what if it ends up at like $1,980, and you're like, we were $20 shy. So then at least
Yeah,
once you hit the
that's
2,000,
the nerve-wracking part of running these things.
yeah, and you got to figure, well, like if I went for the number that I've actually spent on it,
Mm.
we wouldn't have probably made the money, or I would have had to really hustle, and I've really been an idiot for not doing that and really hustling. But
You got to play smart though.
yeah, and at least it gets us copies out there. And
Mhm.
as much as I would like to recoup the money that I've already spent, it's not a 1 month sale.
Mhm.
It's out there, it's evergreen, it doesn't have to end. There's late pledges available there. So
And you
so
have a little trailer here.
oh, it's mostly me yapping, but I did get a pretty good trailer, which I should have put up originally. I finally was playing around on one of those things, and I was taking the pages and looking at the effects, so it would like swoosh in, and all of a sudden I was like,
Ah,
"Whoa, this is really cool! Why didn't I do this sooner?" So, because that's like
yeah.
a video of me being like pretty much everything I've said here, but in 4 minutes by myself.
Ah, well, let's play it a bit then.
All right. Treasure of the Mystic Arts is going to be one of the best comics you've ever read. Let me tell you why. I'm Dave Schweitzer. I wrote a book called March of the Mystics. It starts with a treasure hunt, ends in war. After a group of magical mystics rains from the sky, Galagota's life will never be the same. Well, if you read this book, you will know that Galagota is trying to get a diamond so he can go to the Third Island Festival to impress a woman he has feelings for, and her name is Isra. In this comic, Treasure of the Mystic Cards, you get to see how he meets Isra. You get to see their first adventure. So what we have, this is just a little sample preview, which is available online. And if you donate to our project, what we are going to do is get the full graphic novel, which should be around 110 pages. We were planning for about 5 issues, so that's about 110 pages, 22 pages each. And you'll get the amazing, fantastic, uncanny, and spectacular story of Treasure of the Mystic Cards. Now, Gala is an adventurer, Indiana Jones type, and Isra is a musician, female Indiana Jones type. I don't know. And together, they will have to deal with an evil cult that also wants the weapons for their own nefarious purposes, and they'll be chased by these great lagoon-type creatures. This comic is one of the best comics you have ever seen. I'm not saying that because of the writing, okay? I literally mean one of the best comics you've ever seen, okay? Reen and Shoddy did the art for the March of the Mystics book. And it's phenomenal. It's beautiful. And it's one of these great things where you can see a fantasy book, see this beautiful art, and now get a story with that art in it. Because Renan did every page of this comic book. There's no fill-ins. There's no page that doesn't look beyond perfect. Everything looks excellent. And our colorist, Angel RD, only enhanced everything using some of the most phenomenal, vivid, unique, creative colors you've ever seen in any sort of fantasy. Okay, a lot of fantasy, and I'm not trying to poo it or anything, but it can be a little drab, it can be a little dry and all that. Not us. We're very colorful. We're very interesting. We've got a lot of really spectacular art in this. Some of the best art you have ever seen. That I will stand by, and that is a promise. You're probably wondering how the writing is. I think the writing's fine. I can't be objective because I wrote it, but it's funny. There is a sense of humor to it. There's some romance. There's action. You get to know a little bit more about the characters' backstories. So we really tried to put in everything so you get this really nice package all in one. If you donate to our Kickstarter, we've got some great rewards in there. We've got a lot of things that are going to be exclusive that you can only get through here. And I know what you're probably thinking of, like, well, why do I need a poster of your thing or whatever, yada, yada, yada. Hey, it's there. It's available. It looks beautiful. Okay. We've been going to cons. We're able to sell this art. People love Renan and Angel's work together. Okay. And don't you want like a poster or something, or a trading card or a bookmark? We got a lot of options. Okay. Also, if you want as an add-on, you can even add on the book. Yeah, so you can get the full, whole grand adventure story real easy. Now, if you're watching this, probably means that this Kickstarter has launched. We're going to try to have it over by November. My hope is that I can get everything out in time for Christmas and whatnot. Already starting to work on the background of all that. We're trying to raise $2,000, see what we can get. And I just want to say thank you if you've watched this far into this video, but I really do appreciate you checking out our page and doing all this that you have already done by watching. If you can help share anything like that, really help us, really be appreciated. I think we've really genuinely got a great comic book here. I think that there is a lot to like about it. There's a lot of really talented people working on it. And I think that if you like Indiana Jones, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Marvel, that kind of vibe, it's perfect for you. It's also appropriate for kids, ages 8 and up, I would say. If they're watching Marvel, DC, Star Wars, that type of stuff, this is appropriate for them. There's no swears, no nudity, none of that stuff. Please help us make Treasure of the Mystic Cards a full-blown graphic novel for the end of the year. And even if you can only donate $1, every little bit helps, even just sharing it online. Anything you do to help us, just know I truly, truly appreciate it, and I'm grateful for you. Thank you.
Wow. Dude, that was freaking phenomenal. You're muted. You're muted.
I hope I
There you
sold
go.
it.
Man, heck yeah. And you also have a website. Let me put it up right quick.
Oh yeah, the website itself has like all of just the general merch that we have. If you were just like, I want to get the book and I don't want to have to pay like a Kickstarter fee.
I feel that. I feel
Yeah.
that.
So eventually, once I have copies in hand of the graphic
There we
novel,
go.
I'll put that up there as well.
Dude, look at this graphic right here. Oh my
Oh yeah,
God. This
yeah,
is
it's a
beautiful.
full book cover unwrapped. It's amazing. The day he sent that to me, it was like, oh my god, I could not
Man.
believe it. I could
Hey,
not.
you gotta print this out as a banner and take
What's
it
that?
print it out as a banner and take it to when you go to Comic Con and stuff.
Yeah, I have some stuff. I bought a mat of it that I hang over my desk. So I have
Oh,
really nice.
that's so
Yeah,
freaking cool.
yeah, it looks pretty
But I'm
good.
thinking about making me a meta my own of my character. I'm thinking about it.
You know what? Like I don't remember where I got it from, but I was surprised it wasn't really as expensive as you always worry. You're always like, how much could that
Yeah.
cost? And it's like some of these custom sites like on Vistaprint or whatever that
Yeah, that's
get
why
you,
that's where I actually get my a lot of my printed stuff from is from Vistaprint because they're
yeah,
really cost effective and they
yeah,
print so freakishly fast. Like,
and
good
it ships
lord.
fast too. And yeah, I think everything you're looking at there, like the bookmarks, postcards, the posters,
Mm,
the trading card, not the trading cards. The trading cards I get off a different site, but
okay.
everything else I get off of Vistaprint. And the posters, I cannot believe how nice they are. The quality, like the thickness, the glossiness or whatever of it is
Oh,
just like
nice.
beautiful. Like a picture doesn't do it justice. So, but yeah, it's phenomenal.
Man, do you have a bookmark you can actually show us right now? Like on you?
I have one nearby. Let's see. I usually keep them pretty close.
Oh, so we actually can get the hardcover novel on your website too,
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
Right
The
here.
hardcover, soft cover. Yeah, I got one of the bookmarks. Yeah, right here. So
Let me
QR
zoom you in.
codes on the back for all of our social media.
Let me zoom you in. Okay. Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
Dude,
For the
that
book.
is awesome.
Yeah.
Can you show the barcode one more time? And we can. Wow, that's freaking phenomenal.
So yeah, all the six main characters all have a bookmark or a
Mm,
postcard or a poster. Oh well, Isra, I'd have to look to see what we have because she
mm.
wasn't in that first round. She was in more of a second round. So I don't know if I have. I think I just listed the poster of her there, but she's got a bookmark and stuff. So I
Even a postcard, dude. This is freaking beautiful.
yeah, it's been a helpful thing to also have at like Comic Cons where it's like something cheap because people don't always want to buy a $20 or $40 copy of a book,
Right.
but some people really like the art. So it's been nice to be able to sell them something for a few dollars that hopefully they can, oh hey, what was the name of that, and check it out from their library or something like that.
Oh, and here's the prequel comic. Is that right? It's a prequel, right?
So yeah, so what that is, that the $5 one is pretty much it's a preview of
Okay.
graphic novel. The biggest sell to it is, hey, if this ever really hits, that's going to be a first print that hopefully could really scratch you some change on eBay. But I wanted to have something that I could hand to some editors and publishers at Comic Cons.
Mhm.
So I thought that that was a good idea. And then just, if somebody was like, well, I'm interested to see what you got, but I don't want to spend that much money for at least $5. They get, what's in that issue is enough of a story, even though it's just the beginning of the graphic novel. But
Mhm.
I think we ended it at a right spot where you have enough of a cliffhanger, but you're also like, okay, I got a little story out of it. So
Man, do you plan like doing like T-shirts of your characters, like hoodies and stuff, adding more merchandise at some point,
I
or?
haven't done the clothing stuff yet. I'm sure I will, though.
Mm,
It's been such a slow build of trying to get things going and everything. And
understandable. Yeah.
a lot of it was really created in July and August because I started going to cons in August. So it was like in
Mm,
July, I was like, "Ooh, I got to get some more stuff because right now I don't have a whole lot."
right.
So yeah, I'm always thinking about like, oh, what's next? Like a magnet or stickers. I mean, we have some stickers, but
Mm.
yeah, I'm always trying to think about what's next and just the little things. I mean, I don't want to be slapping our images on like a piece of fruit like Star Wars does. I think that's a little like that went a little insane. But
I mean, it was creative though, even though it was a bit insane, but it was creative.
yeah,
Like, you gotta admit, it was a bit creative.
great if
It
it
was
was.
out of the box. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my lord. Man, I hope I get a T-shirt because these characters look freaking phenomenal.
Well,
Oh my
thank
gosh.
Yeah, I'll have to
Uh,
start looking into the T-shirt because that would
oh
also
yeah,
help me at a con because I could just be wearing it and
yeah,
have
yes,
free
exactly.
advertising.
Can you tease us of what else is coming down the pipeline from you, from your creativity, from your creative world?
So yeah, so like I said, in that world, with Gala and the Mystics, there will hopefully be the next book next year. Most of it's already written. I really just got to send it off to an editor and go through that. We've already done the art for it. That'll be a ghost story. So
Ooh,
just to
ghost.
mix it up a little bit more, that should be fun. I'd like to try to hopefully, if an ideal world can work out, releasing that in like August or September would be really nice. So then that way, like going into Halloween, it can be like, you want a spooky read? I got a spooky read
Mhm.
for you. So that'll be that one. And then next year in the comic book realm, I'm launching a UFO comic book on Kickstarter and then a
Ooh, nice.
superhero comic book on Kickstarter with Renan. I don't remember. I may have mentioned that in the beginning or during our pre interview.
Mhm.
Um, but so that stuff will be going on now that we've done one Kickstarter. Hopefully, the next few I can do a little bit better and a little bit more successful and stuff. So doing that, trying to get that second book all wrapped up, and then just editing on the movie. That's really what my 2026 is looking like. This year
Mm.
was like very busy filming that movie and then going to Comic
Yeah,
Cons. So next year, I really just want to kind of be like, hey, I'm just home. I'm not traveling a lot. I'm just
yeah,
staying cozy and keeping my head down and doing my work. So that's kind of my goal.
and as create, because that's as a creative yourself, was like the best advice you could give someone that wants to get into this creative atmosphere and wanted to start their own storytelling?
That to just do the work and the like the if you can just find a way to do it, you'll enjoy it.
Hmm.
And if it's writing, it's the easiest thing in the world because you just need a computer or a pen and paper. You don't have to communicate really with others. You can just sit down and write. And there's very few excuses to get in the way. But I would say just do it and don't get too hung up on it being perfect. Because I think if you really look at even the greatest creatives of all time, they don't always start at the top. Martin Scorsese's first five movies aren't his best movies necessarily. One of them might be one of the best five, but there's always a curve, and you have to just kind of go through getting up that roller coaster
Hmm.
to reach the peak. So I always just believe that if you just stick with it and you enjoy the creativity and what that brings, then hopefully things will work out. And you also have to keep in mind that everybody has a different idea of success,
Hmm.
and just getting something done is successful. But to some people, it's, well, if I don't make $10,000, it's not successful. Or
Hmm.
if I don't get an award for it, it's not successful. And I would say to try to ignore that noise, but it can be hard because people need to make a living, and the money
Yeah.
can be a very discouraging and distracting aspect. But I believe if you could focus on the creating and appreciating that joy, and just even if you only spend 30 minutes when you have a moment, that can be more than enough. 30 minutes can get you significantly further in a story. If you're looking to do something that's not writing, like an acting or directing that's more collaborative where you have to be with people, I would talk to the people that who have the similar interests, see who has what skill set, see if you can team up that way. People
Hmm.
always talk about networking, and what I don't like about that is it feels like you have to go to a party where you know nobody and walk up to somebody and say, "Hi, my name's Dave and I do this, that, and the other thing," and make a connection. But I've realized like most of my job opportunities are just because I like knew somebody, and they were like I acted in a horror movie at the beginning of the year with a friend I went to college with, and we just reconnected, and he was like, "You like to act, right?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll be in your movie, no problem."
Oh yeah.
and that's all it takes. So I wouldn't be intimidated by when people use the term networking. I think that can be on a lower scale and a more clever way as well.
Mhm.
I've worked with a few people who have really delivered some phenomenal performances, and they are not actors. They were just friends
Hmm.
who, like, I like movies. Yeah, I'll help you out. I'll act. And then it was like my one friend, Ray Worthley, he acted in one person's thing. I think it wasn't mine. And I was like, hey, he's good. And then I kept casting him in a web series I used to have. And eventually he's like, why am I getting all this this work? I was like, I'm not trying to be an actor. And I've been in like 7 episodes of your show. And so, so just if you stick with it with a good attitude and you just look for the opportunities and you're willing to accept them, I think something can work out.
Man, that's really beautiful, and I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. I mean, you have to start somewhere, and also since it's the season of thanks, I want to do this thing where what's like the top 3 things that you're thankful for?
Just like in my whole entire
Yeah, that's in general. Just in general. Yeah.
definitely thankful for the dogs. My mom has a dog and my girlfriend has a dog, and I would take a bullet for either one of them. One of them's 13, so that's not really a good decision on my end to take a bullet
Ah.
for a 13-year-old dog, but I would do it. So so definitely like dogs. Those dogs, I just love them so much. I will say, like, girlfriend, my mom and friends, lump them all in together. I really feel very grateful there. And I think, I mean, as far as a third thing for me, I feel very grateful with where I am right now in life, where I'm able to dedicate most of my time to my creative stuff. It's not everybody doesn't get that. I just happen to be in a spot where right now I can at least give it the
Mhm.
try. So I'm grateful for that because it does make waking up each day a lot nicer.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so yeah, hopefully those were three good ones.
Yeah.
How about
One.
for you?
For me, one is always family. My sisters, my mother, and my father. Um, my father, as in the man my mother married. That's a whole different story. Two, imagination, because imagination I'm really thankful for because I can escape the world for a while and just go into my own world,
Yeah,
and just create, just having a gift to create and just story tell however I want and just have fun, just being in my own space and just being me.
yeah,
And three, I'm thankful to be alive.
that's great.
Thankful to be alive, breathing, healthy, and just being able to live life.
That's awesome.
So before we get off, where can we find you so we can keep updates on you to see what your projects or that you're up to?
I would say if you've got TikTok, Dave Schweitzer author, that would be the best one. I think that's the one where I'm most entertaining. I talk about my book. I talk a lot about comic books on there. Right now, I'm kind of
Mhm.
going through a history of Spider-Man and talking about each creative team on the comic books and the TV shows and the cartoons and the movies. So we're just now entering the 80s. But that's been a lot of fun. So Dave Schweitzer, author on TikTok. Otherwise, on Facebook and Instagram, I think it's Threads as well, and maybe Blue Sky. If you search Gala and the Mystics, that's really the page I would suggest for any of those platforms. I don't have like a Dave Schweitzer account on those where it's just, me talking about my general projects, but I will obviously cross promote when I have other projects out. Hey, if you like the thing that this book that this guy wrote, he made a movie. Watch the trailer.
Awesome.
So yeah, those would be the main ones right now.
And I am Kevin Davis. You can find me on Instagram at One Kevirsyle Network. And I am Kevin Davis Official on Instagram. And I have my business tags in my I am Kevin Davis Official Instagram. And you can find me on TikTok at Kevirsyle Studios and Facebook at I am Kevin Davis CEO. And you can also find me here at Madness because I am mad. Thank you, DS Comics, coming
Thank
on the
you.
show.
Thank you for having me. I'm
Um,
so grateful. I really appreciate you letting me try to hawk my merch here. Oh,
yes, sir.
if I could say one last thing, because I think I don't know if I said this,
Mm,
but on Black Friday through Cyber Monday, I'm going to do a 30% off sale. I don't think I have that control on the Kickstarter, so I apologize that the graphic novel is not part of that. But if you were interested in the book, the hardcover or softcover, galamystics.com is our Shopify, or on the TikTok shop, assuming I remember how to give a discount on these things. But that is my plan, is to have a 30% discount. So hopefully, that book, the hardcover, instead of being $40 would be like 28 bucks.
yeah.
So something to keep in mind. And thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming on, and thank you guys for watching. And this has been the Kevirsyle Network. I can't speak English, Jesus Christ, and we'll see you guys next time.
If you missed the live viewing of any Madness Entertainment Group production, you can find all our content on Roku or as a member of this channel. We'll see you next time on the Madness Entertainment Group.